This is not a presentation because I'm presenting on a cloud product, and this is usually where it bites you in the butt. So I'm going to share with you our website for PTV Visum Publisher, just to give you an idea of what the product is. And then, well, here it is. And then I'm going to show you the product itself live on the cloud, because it's a cloud product and it needs to work. So I have no stress. Okay, so let's actually just start with our teaser here. So I'll make this full screen. I think the volume's going to work. PTV Visum Publisher is kind of like one of our first mobility products on the cloud right now. And the main intent of it is to help you with sharing dashboards, and you're taking your Visum data and you're putting it on the cloud, you're making nice graphics, and then you want to communicate that to either the public or stakeholder, maybe the mayor, maybe your boss, something like that. So let's watch the video and then I'll explain it a little bit more. And I think I have to hit play. It's very dramatic. That says this does not make sense. That was my comment.
So I guess we're getting cheaper in our marketing budgets because we should have had some audio there, not just music, right?
Oh no, then you got the auto replay. Yeah. So that's the teaser. Okay, now I'm done. So anyway, Visum Publisher, it has been released in the US only, not Canada yet, but the US only for its trial version. And my mouse keeps hovering down at the bottom. Give me a second. There we go. I can rest it and leave it alone. So it's been released in the US, and you can go ahead to find our page. Basically, you just type in PTV Visum Publisher in Google, and most likely it's going to pop up here. And then there's an announcement in Visum, if you have Visum right now, that says it's now available in the US. That was just added to that start page today with the link to this page as well. But you can see there's a button for a free trial, and you can click on that free trial. It's no credit card, there's no cancellation, it's pretty much risk-free. And to be honest with you right now, the 30 days part isn't even enforced. So you can trial for a while. But first you need a myptv.com account. And if you have one, you can bypass that process and just sign up. But if you don't have one, it's going to prompt you to sign up and then continue on to activate the free trial. So on our website here, I mean, we give a lot of information about what it's for. And I think you saw from the first video, it's really just to share these attractive visualizations with stakeholders and, like I said, mayors and things like that. But also have a different way to display your Visum data. So in desktop software, it's sometimes really hard to kind of have it be reviewed and that sort of stuff. You tend to make like screen captures of the visualizations and put it into a report, and then it's kind of like stuck in that static state. So we're kind of answering that and saying now it can be interactive when you're discussing with somebody, with your customer and client. And our goal with this product is pretty much to kill PowerPoint when you need it for our products. So the benefits, we have scenario comparison within the software. You saw on a couple of the things in the video where you can either have the windows side by side for multiple scenarios, or you can have a few buttons, and I'll show that in a second, where you can click on the buttons and actually compare the two scenarios within the same widget. They're interactive because you can zoom in and out and click on things. Of course, you can add comments and resolve comments. So yeah, this is great for that stakeholder meeting. So if you're working with your transportation agency and you're working with the transit agency and you're sharing the Visum models and things like this, the transit agency could have access to Publisher as part of the team and then make that comment that says, hey, this isn't really going to work for us in our perspective, and give you that nice comment, and then you can answer back to them via comments. So it's pretty cool that way. The collaborative editing and sharing, if you're invited to this team subscription, you can be set up as an editor, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. And then, of course, sharing, you can share the links with people. Animations, you saw that. And of course, we are secure and we have a privacy and all that fun stuff. Let's go down to here. So again, the workflow for publishers to provide this integrated experience to get to these dashboards. We have a place within Visum where you can export the data out, and then it automatically transfers into the cloud product, and it's pretty straightforward. There's a list of the plans that will be available in your region. Like I said, right now, really the trial is available for you right now. So that gives you unlimited scenarios. You can test up to 10 dashboards. You can only share with yourself right now. But when public sharing comes along, we'll give you one dashboard that you can share publicly and kind of test that functionality out. Why I say when it comes along, it should be coming along by the end of this year. Should. But right now you have the team collaboration part, so you can still kind of invite team members to a subscription. You just can't send it out to the world yet. And when you get into the small and large teams, whenever that comes online for you, that's kind of funny way to explain cloud products. When it comes online for you, you'll increase the dashboard sizes. Then you'll have access to 25 team members for the small team. You'll have 50 team members for the large team. And then when we get the publicly shared dashboards, there'll be a couple tiers on how many dashboards you're able to share with customers. Yeah. So that's the basic thing. We're offering it right now per month, but by the time I think it's going to be online for you guys, it would be month and year contracts or subscriptions, and you would be able to pay by credit card or something like that. Yeah. And if you want to find out while you activate the trial and you want to know how to use the product itself, we have these step-by-step tutorials to kind of learn how to create and build dashboards within the product. Like I said, it's really easy. So hopefully these tutorials are enough, because that was our aim, to make it a super easy product to use. And yeah, if you have any questions, of course, you can just get in touch with us. So enough of that stuff. Let's go into the product itself. I have to sign into my account because I have a password. And if you don't have one, you can create an account, but I can sign in. It took me too long to sign in. There we go. Maybe let me do it again. There we go. So this will load up Publisher, and we have a showcase that we put together for, it's like an internal team for PTV users that we can then share with everybody. So in this showcase, this has a lot of the things that you saw in the teaser trailer, I guess is a way to call it. We have this animated timetable. Let me go full screen on you. We have this animated timetable where you can see the moving dot animations. So this would be like your kind of like your SBA kind of stuff. It takes the trajectories from Visum itself, and then you can have these moving dots. You can speed it up so you can actually see what's going on within here. You can pan, tilt, zoom, move around. So like I said, it's really interactive in that format. This is set up for vehicle journeys for transit. And so you can see that there's multiple types of transit that's supported within this. So the point is, like, if you needed to share this to a stakeholder, you would want them to know the story behind the dashboards, more or less. So you can add these text boxes off to the side and kind of give that narrative that you want to share to the users within, if they're a viewer or even if they're an editor, you can kind of give them some information at what they're looking at. And again, you can daisy string these all together into like some sort of presentation. So you can go from dashboard to dashboard to dashboard and have like basically a continuous tour of your project itself. So this is the timetable. And if I go to the next one, it will load up the next dashboard, and the Wi-Fi at the hotel is a little slow. But it pulls up the next one. This one's looking at attraction rates. So it's basically origin destination data displayed on the map. And it's showing, well, this specific use case is home to work with a car. So it's showing the destination of the people driving with cars. And then the other one on the right side in blue is showing the destinations of people without cars. So AKA the transit people. And then you get to see kind of like on the bottom, you can mix in graphics with bar charts with your maps and kind of get a different level of information shared. So there was something yesterday, I think it was, yeah, with Atlanta, like looking at more origin destination information and kind of understanding where people are coming from like a freight perspective or something like this. This could be a good way to show like how the freight's going into the system and where they're ending up, maybe in the city center or something like that. And the next one here. So this one is all about the transport supply. And I think that was another thing yesterday that we had during the agency session, was trying to understand the supply of everything. So the thing on the left, the map on the left, this is showing the speeds within the system. So you get some kind of different levels and grades. I did explain in the text that this is wrong on purpose. All right, so don't look at this and be like, wow, they can go 200 kilometers per hour on that street. So if I actually click on this comment here, I was reviewing it and I said, why are the free floating speeds over 60 kilometers per hour on city links? That was my comment. I was like, can you review this and check it? And then I could go ahead and add a new reply to this. I could resolve it if I was happy with the answer. So that's kind of how the commenting works. So that's like speed side. And then on this other side, you can get these like 3D line bar charts, and this is kind of showing more of like a capacity view of what's going on with your system. You can see, you know, how the number of lines kind of intersect with stops or something like this as well, and augment multiple attributes on the same map. So you can do different things there. And then, of course, yeah, you can add some more tables to it. And the next slide, that's not a slide in PowerPoint, it's the products, is we can look at assignment results. So this one's, yeah, it's showing basically locations that are using public transportation during the peak periods or something like that. So you can also get these line charts in here, and you can clearly see that there's like these, you know, kind of commuter peaks within the map. So you have the AM commuter peak, the PM commuter peak, as well as, you know, where that is in relation within the network. And then we have these scenario buttons. There's a multiple ways to do this. You can do it by a slider, you can do it by buttons. But you can click on the scenario and it will basically load up multiple scenarios. You can see there is a slight color change in the maps as I do this. Yeah, so that's that. You can have the scenario views kind of go back and forth between the data sets. And moving on. think I'm running out of some time here. There's isochrone kind of concept. So this is the bicycles that travel to a city center, and then you get to see the destinations that are the heaviest bicycle usage and these like prisms. So again, you can zoom in, you can scroll, you can hold down control and kind of pan and tilt and see these columns. At the same time, I overlaid the travel times for these bicycles, and you kind of see how long it takes for a bicycle to get to the city center. And there's a lot of comments like kind of around this area right here, because some of the travel times start to be a little bit longer because you can't cross this railroad track basically. So people have to go around the long way more or less to connect. And so there's a comment here that's like, wow, there's connection difficulties across the river. Maybe we should do something about that. That could be a public comment maybe that they say. It takes me forever to do that. And then lastly, there was something about flow bundles yesterday, again with freight touring or something like that. This map right here is showing these pre-calculated flow bundles coming from Visum at a rail perspective, but it's showing you where the heaviest rail operations are within the network. As I pointed out, that canal, it's really hard to cross. So pretty much everybody has to go south of the city and come up to the train station. And they're not really utilizing this connection that's in the middle of the city very well. So it kind of points that out within this visualization within the map. So I'm going to stop this part, and I just wanted to quickly show you user management. So this is what it looks like with the dashboard view and all the different dashboards that we have within the showcase. And I can't see the data because right now I added myself as a viewer, even though I'm an admin, I'm a viewer as well. And let me change it so I'm an editor now. I can go to our user management section. This is where you can see all the people that are invited to the subscription. So again, a team subscription would have 25 members or 50 members, depending on the package size you have. And then you can also invite users with their email address, and it would send them the invitation to be invited to that team. And you can select which role that you want them to participate in. So a viewer basically is read-only, and an editor is collaborative editing. So, but here's me. It says it's me. It realizes it's me. That's cool. I can check myself as an editor and take myself off as a viewer. Hit save. Everybody else who's not an admin can't do that, so it's restrictive that way. And now when I go back to the dashboards, I will see the data tab that we have for this showcase. And so now I can kind of preview through the different data sets and different scenarios that I have set up for these dashboards. And again, this is all loading from Visum. So now we're in Visum 2023. You can see now that we have this message in the start menu that says the trial's available with that link I mentioned. If we go to File, and then we go to Export, there is Visum Publisher right here. And if I click on that, it's going to say, oh, you're not logged in. So I can sign in to my PTV account. Now I'm logged in. And I go back to here, and I get the confirmation that I'm logged in the upper right corner has my name saying I'm logged in now. So this is the export menu for publisher. You can add various network attributes that you want. You can get crazy with this. You can do all your UDAs and export them out as well. There's huge amounts of selections and things. You also can save a selection. So I saved a selection just to show you, you can do this once and not have to do it multiple times. So here it's saved as basically just a script file or an XML. So I hit open, and then it will load up all those presets that I had to export into that showcase I just showed. And then I would hit next, and I'm not going to go much further because I'll overwrite all my data and they'll be mad at me back at HQ. I select basically which subscription I have access to. So you can have access to multiple subscriptions. And if you're an agency, you might have hopefully 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 subscriptions that you're managing. And then you would select which model and which scenario you want to load the data into within that. And then you hit that export button, and then it just whoop, goes up to the cloud. And then you see it on the cloud side. So I think that's all we have time for on the publisher stuff. And if there's any questions, I can answer it if there's time. You want some time?
Yeah, we can take a question or two.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you do all of the graphic parameters within this publisher, or can you also, like, do you need to set up graphic parameters in Visum, and can you also upload those?
So I think now that I'm added as an editor, I can show you that. The question is, yes, you have to do it on the publisher side, but keep in mind the audience of publisher may be slightly different than what you're showing in the Visum side. So if you're showing it to a stakeholder, you want something that's a little bit more clear to understand. You may have slightly smaller data sets that you're showing them and not like the whole giant thing at one time. So yes, you would have to set it up differently. Just real, this one doesn't have any data, but real quickly, you would just come into here and you would select basically which type of data you want. And then you would have like a whole bunch of different attributes for these widgets to select. I don't really have a good one here. Let me just do that one. And then from those attributes, you would select the colors, the bins. It's a little bit easier, I would say, to understand because that was the intent of the product. So let me just edit this widget. So it has the data source, it has different attributes you can select, and then from those attributes you can select the bin range that you want for the legend, and then different kind of color schemes and opacities and heights, all that stuff. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, so within Publisher, based upon what you showed us earlier, examples, do you have any capabilities for accessibility analysis or even equity analysis based upon the example you had? It looks like it's very convenient for accessibility analysis or equity.
So you can do the accessibility side, like I mean, I guess that bicycle example I showed would be a good example of that, where you can see how accessible it is based on those travel times. I mean, you can overlay quite a few of the UDAs that you have on Visum to kind of help you with the accessibility. But I mean, there's bicycle, there's pedestrians, there's transit. We have been working on some additional accessibility type of things as well. So.